I can't do that.
Jerry, you've changed.
We're twins. See, Gerald down there and incognito up here.
He's in touch with his feminine side.
You got a problem with that?
Not me, no.
Oh, funny. Oh, there's Glenda.
Everybody see my motorcycle, buddy?
Oh, all I saw was Gerald Jackson is going to make a comment that he's getting a little hairy.
Mickey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? I'm way down here. Hold on just a second.
There you are.
There I am.
Or someone
seen
who
you
looks
for a
like
while.
you.
How's Alaska been?
Oh, not too bad. Haven't had to go in a while.
Oh, good.
But I still work Alaskan hours on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so I'll apologize in advance if I get a phone call and I got to take it.
Okay.
Turn the light on, so it turns. When you turn the light off, then it turns the electricity off. Right at the top.
Well, what do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to visit about? I get to run the meeting.
Wine, and technically, I'm working, so shh, don't tell anybody.
I have white wine.
Is Jerry not with us today?
He's on the road. He said he was going to dial in. So I'm running the meeting. It's recording.
Awesome.
So we can talk about whatever we want. Oh, there's another.
Yeah, I'm going to walk out and I'll be back.
Chris and John have their toys out today.
It's raining. Jeff built a new barn to store his toys.
John's not the only one with a vaccine, by the way.
Can we talk about the fact that I dialed in yesterday thinking it was Tuesday and actually sat there for like 15 minutes wondering where everybody was?
I have done that before, so don't feel bad.
It's horrible. Like, how can it be that long of a week on a Monday?
Well, what's bad is I'm rarely able to call in because I usually have another meeting at the same time, but it got canceled today. So I actually am able to call in, but then I'm like, woohoo, I don't have a meeting today, so I can call Rotary. And I called Rotary and I'm like, where is everybody? I did the same thing.
Oops.
My
Yeah.
butler is bringing me a drink.
And I'd like everybody to know that I am not Jerry Jackson.
You aren't. Good.
That's what it says right here
It does.
on the screen, Jerry Jackson.
You know,
there's
it
also
does.
Jerry Jackson incognito up here too.
And John, you're not the only one that has a vaccine, by the way.
Oh, well, I hope not. I think John, right. What number is yours?
Mine's not numbered.
I arbitrarily picked 6 when I went to India.
Oh, mine's numbered 5150.
You're going to have to pick a smaller number. But this is Vaxi 7. You have the Keep India Polio. Whoop. Why is that upside down? Keep India Polio Free?
Online meeting.
Oh, there's another one.
No, John, I actually have this one. I don't know if you can see it or not.
I do not have that one.
Yeah.
It's a little fuzzy, but I can see polio.
It says, I helped end polio, and it has the Rotary logo in the top.
I need one of those.
District 5300. I got mine from Dr. Nichelle.
He gave me a nice certificate saying I'm a good guy. He didn't know me.
He follows the four-way test, right?
Yeah, let's go with that story. The key question is, does your motorcycle company give you a clock in the shape of a gas tank?
No, that does not.
I'm sure for enough money, I could probably buy one from mine.
Oh, my doors are whistling. So what do you guys want to talk about? Who's got a good joke? We haven't done that. Mike, Emily.
Okay, well, there was the upholsterer who stapled his arm too much, but now he's in recovery.
That's a groaner. Groan, groan.
Yep.
All right, somebody's got to have one better than that.
How about I left Marco Island where the temperature was mid-80s and am now sitting in Dennisport, Massachusetts, where the temperature has now dropped to 37 degrees. That's funny.
Did you do that on purpose?
Daughter and son-in-law are both ER doctors, and they brought grandson over here for a vacation, and I joined them. And day before yesterday, it was snowing in Provincetown. So not much motorcycling going on here at the moment.
No. I got to go fix my doors. I'll be right
My
back.
son just came in and told me the worst joke I've heard today, which is saying something because that upholstery joke was pretty bad.
Thank you.
What was it, John?
How do you cut the ocean? Use a seesaw.
No. That was awful. Seesaw.
Okay, he's not invited back. Oops.
Okay, then. Does anybody have any good rides planned? Besides John's?
I'm kind of intrigued about this one that's on that island up on, is it Lake Superior? Jerry's been on it. He was talking about, I didn't make last week because I forgot, but I saw the video. That was a good presentation last week. But this island is, I think, out in Lake Superior. Has anybody been on that?
Was it Manitoulin Island?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't been out. I've been around it.
Jeffrey?
Also not Jerry Jackson. That's good.
Jerry!
Hi, everybody.
The real Jerry showed up.
The real Jerry showed up. How about that?
Well, there's about 3 of you on the screen so far.
Really?
You're in trouble now.
There's only 3 total and not Jerry Jackson.
So since I'm not quite 100%, that means I'm over 100% now.
100% of what?
As my dad used to say on the farm, they only pile shit so high.
And then it all falls down.
It used to be 5'11", now it's 5'10 and a quarter.
Where are you, Jerry?
I'm in Deerfield, Illinois, north side of Chicago.
Oh.
I get to look at an accident vehicle for the 3rd time.
Hey, everybody, I want you to know I really do have a wife. Say hi to Catherine.
Hello.
Thank you.
That's the first time for everything. What all are you talking about?
Jokes.
Finding better jokes.
Finding better jokes.
Oh,
I
the golden
am
retriever.
I'm looking over here to see who all's here.
This is Goldie the Wonder Puppy.
Cute.
I see Mickey. Oh no, I see
We're gonna do dog. Come here, dog.
Jim's on. Michaela's on. Good stuff.
I'm here. I'm here. I know it doesn't happen much. It's a rare sighting, but I'm here.
Oh, it's awesome to see you. Pretty good.
So Jeff's got a new pole barn to park all his toys in, because the garage isn't 3-car garage isn't big enough.
I've been thinking about a building project too, so he's got my vote. Okay.
There you go. Here's Oscar the Wonder Dog.
How about that?
Jerry had a dog up there, or Chris had a dog up there a minute ago.
Yeah. See, but mine's got doggles, but he's not wearing them at the moment. But he sits in the sidecar.
Doggles are awesome.
Yeah.
Mine's behind me waiting to be fed.
Oh yeah. Well, he looks like a wonder dog too. He's just waiting for his chance.
Yes. Yes.
So I take it.
Conserving his energy. He's just waiting to pounce on something, right?
Yeah.
So I take it one of these happy hours we have a dog show.
That's
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
That's
Yeah.
right.
My dog's name is actually Dania, which is the name of the city that I lived in Spain.
Oh wow.
Because her name at the shelter was Diamond. I was like, no, I think my husband might have had a girlfriend named Diamond at one point before.
A diamond.
Well,
Now that just begs all sorts of questions I don't want to ask.
yeah, let's not go there. Yeah.
A lot of bad jokes come out of that one.
Oh,
I never had it.
Let's keep it PC. Keep it PC here, people.
There we go. Let's ask this one. Did Diamond have a relationship with Trump at one time?
no.
Oh, but she was from Durand.
Oh my.
But it was stormy.
Yeah, well, where to keep it PC do you not get there, Jerry?
Yeah, it's a nice bad joke night.
Jerry, are you driving or are you just hiding in your car?
No, I'm sitting in the parking lot at the Residence Inn. If they have a vacancy, I'm staying here tonight. I'm one of those that just kind of shows up. And
He's
speaking
in
of that, I'll
his
check in here
Tesla.
tonight.
Can't you see no hands?
Just,
And those of you who saw my Facebook page today, I went to the ortho today, and Mr. Ortho, after I said something to him, gave me a little ankle brace that I can wear instead of this big-ass boot when I'm on the motorcycle, so I can ride the motorcycle again. So yes, Rory and Judy, I'm going to call the hotel tonight.
Okay.
You need to get a canary yellow boot, though, Jerry.
Yes.
Actually, I looked at, anybody got Tourmaster boots?
yes,
Do you like them?
I do.
Which ones you got?
Couldn't tell you the model, but they're good boots. Very
Okay.
comfortable. They're comfortable, easy to walk in.
Yeah, Debbie's got a good pair of them, and I kind of think that's maybe what I'm going to do.
That's what I have, Jerry.
Do you?
Yeah.
Been decent in the rain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Up until the time I cut a hole on top of them, yeah, they'd be fine.
My waterproof ones I've worn out on the bottom. They kind of leak upward now.
So, Rory, have you ridden your new Goldwing yet?
No, actually, we're supposed to go to Pennsylvania next Thursday, a week from this Thursday, to pick it up.
Nice.
That's in Altoona?
Yes. We'll be there on the 5th.
Go to the, where is it? Never mind.
Altoona.
If you'll go near Johnstown, they got a great flood museum there.
A what museum?
Flood, from the Johnstown flood.
Oh, okay.
But that's in Johnstown. That's not too far from Altoona. But the neat thing is Altoona has got what they call the horseshoe curve. It's if you're a railroad buff, it's hot stuff. It's a big, huge curve in the shape of a horseshoe.
Yeah, I think that was part of Steve. He did a ride with us, a year on that one, Jerry?
Yeah, it was like 7-8 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's where the whole junior thing started.
Right.
Right in line as we went inside to see the horseshoe curve. I should approach Junior about getting into this. I haven't talked to him in quite a while. I bet it's been 6 months since I've talked to him. Anyway, another time, another story.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say we'll be up in Altoona on the 5th, so 5th, 6th, and we'll come back this way on 7th.
We're going to stay there a whole day, right? 2 nights? Is that what I'm supposed to book for?
Thursday night and Friday.
Okay. What was that?
That is a squeaky pig and a little dog playing with a squeaky pig.
I thought maybe somebody had a rubber ducky who was in the bath.
That's a squeaky pig.
Oh, that's pretty cute.
Little dog, very interested in a squeaky pig. Yep.
No, to answer yours, Chris, I just did about a 10-minute test ride on it, and that was it.
And the test drive was on the one you're getting, or you're getting a new one?
I get a brand new one.
What color?
Red. That's all he had. So
Gotcha.
he didn't know when he had white and blue ones coming, but he didn't know when they might be there.
So what did you find to be the big difference between your current bike and the new bike?
Front suspension, as far as jars and you know, riding the bumps, it's a lot smoother. I got the DCT, the dual clutch transmission.
Yeah.
Handling seemed to be good. I had the sport mode, just ride by wire now, or the throttle by wire.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I came back, got out on by myself for about 10 minutes, got used to it, came back and got Judy. Within 5 miles, I'd kicked the windshield up, and the wind virtually disappeared around her, so she was happy right then.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
So,
some
no.
pretty riding country near Altoona.
We rode part of it, but I couldn't tell you where it was now. Like we said, that was 7 or 8 years ago.
Hmm.
That's where I learned about those number signs in Pennsylvania are merely suggestions.
I know those 8-sided signs that are red.
Those don't seem to mean much either.
Not a lot, no.
Mr. Seltzer leads the fastest rides we've ever been on. As a group, anyway.
Hey, Chris, I had a question for you, and I'm not sure you have an answer yet. Are you going to have a food packaging thing at the convention?
We are not.
Not too bad.
We made a strategic decision to not do it this year in Toronto because the location they wanted us to do it in was totally separate from the House of Friendship because the House of Friendship is smaller.
Really?
Yep. And we had to do that in Seoul, as you may remember. And the logistical nightmare that we went through to get people over to the packaging facility, we just elected not to go through that nightmare again. So, and complicated by the fact, and this is really for Rotarians internal to us to know, Kids Against Hunger Canada really wanted to package meals at this event. And the head of Kids Against Hunger Canada is good friends with the host organizing committee lead. And so they worked the deal. And while we were able to overcome everything that they had, I made the decision at the end that I just did not want to go through that nightmare of trying to get people over to the other building. So what we're doing instead is we're taking the money we would have put into meal packaging and actually putting it into display space by the House of Friendship. So we'll have a very good presence in the House of Friendship.
You got cut off. You put in the money into what?
Into a display space inside the House of Friendship. So instead of a regular 10 by 10 location, we're going to have a 20 by 30 location.
Okay.
So, and we'll have a lot of interactivity inside the booth.
And then my next question is for Jerry. Are you getting sign-ups for the booth?
Some.
My sister's going to join me.
Okay.
She's from the Phoenix area. She does not ride. And I expect you all to be nice to her because she thinks I'm nice.
Yeah, we'll be nice to her. You, on the other hand.
That sounds fair.
And Jerry, did you get my email about that $50 price point is only valid up to a certain point?
I did, and I'm going to try to deal with that when I get back tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Thursday, I guess. I'll try and make sure that we've got 2 coming so far just to help with the booth.
Yeah.
Blair and Jack West. So that'll be probably it, but besides me. So anyway, I'll take care of it and see what happens.
Okay.
So I got to make some adjustments now. I didn't realize setup was going to be on the 23rd and 22nd, and so I was coming in on a train Thursday or the 23rd and morning 23rd. So I've got some adjustments to make.
I can help you with that. There's the water thing, I think, is on the 21st.
Okay, you're going to be in early?
I'm going to that, so I can help you set up.
Did you change to the other hotel?
The one outside of town? Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay. By the way, if anybody else is going on there, I got a room with 2 double beds, so if somebody wanted to share a room, we could do that too.
And Jerry, once I get done setting up the House of Friendship for Rise Against Hunger, I can come over and help you with the motorcycle booth.
Yeah, we've got some guy trying to get us a brand new Harley in there right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not riding that train, I'll probably be coming up on my bike. So, so there's some other opportunities. I still got to track down who to talk to about whether or not we're going to be able to get a vehicle in there and what their limits are. Some of these places don't let you pull in unless you drain all the fluids.
Right.
Which is not happening on my bike. So.
Well, you know, Rory could always put his bike in there before he takes delivery.
Yeah. Down in Alabama there in the Georgia Convention Center, not Alabama, Atlanta. They had no rules. In fact, Raymond got to ride his straight into the center there. He drove it in with engine on. And likewise, when he left, he just drove it right across the floor and out.
I think Bob Muchler did the same thing up in Montreal.
So we'll find out, though. I'll have that solved. Hopefully, by the end of the week, we'll have most of that solved. So then everything should be in place. And then I'm going to go ahead and order computer connections right in there. And I'm probably going to order that scan thing, too. So you said 2 of them, didn't you?
Say that again?
You said 2 of them was a good idea?
I would recommend 2, yeah.
Yeah. I want the live computer connection because I'm sure we'd had like between 50 and 100 more members had we had that sign-up thing available right online.
Yeah, so
we had at least that many people that talked about joining, and you know, while they're there with the passions when you want to have them join.
So the internet connectivity inside the House of Friendship is about $150 a day.
Wow.
My recommendation would be that you rent MiFis, 1 or 2 MiFis, and put them in the booth, and you can rent them from the airport. And that's what I'm doing. MiFis, the little hotspot boxes.
Okay.
That's what our team is doing. Is we're going to rent them from the airport.
All right. I'll have to figure that out. I wasn't planning on going to the airport, but whatever.
Well, you can rent them. You can go to a Verizon store or
something like that.
A TELUS store up there and rent them from there.
All right.
How much do those things cost, Chris? Do you know?
The hotspots. Well, we did it in Seoul. I've got my marketing team looking into it right now, but we did it in Seoul, and it was $10 a day a unit. Very reasonable.
But I mean, if you buy it, not if you rent it.
Oh, if you buy it, it's I think it's like $150 for the unit, and then if you add it on to, are you on Verizon or a different carrier?
I have Verizon.
So when I had a MiFi attached to my Verizon account, it was $10 extra per month.
Does it have to be attached to some cell phone account then?
Your cell phone could work as a hotspot.
Yeah,
as long as there's cellular connectivity inside the House of Friendship.
Yeah, and it cost me like $5 a day in Canada.
Yeah, but on Verizon it's nothing. So.
But if the cell phone doesn't work, then the My Hotspot won't work. I mean, vice versa, won't it?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Okay. All right. Tells me what I need to know.
Sorry to bore you guys with convention talk.
Hey, let's switch the group's discussion just for a minute or two. The second meeting, and we'll talk about this more. I just want to give you a little wet flavor for it. Wet your tongue, whatever. I was at Pets. We'll talk about it more at our business meeting in April, okay? But I was at Pets here 2 weekends ago and met the incoming RI president, Barry. He's a president-elect now. Barry, I can't think of his last name, but he's out back.
Rasson.
Rasson, yeah, he's out of the Bahamas. His big thing one of the big things he's pushing, and it's something I had actually thought about a number of years ago, he's going to push people to generate Rotaract clubs. And, you know, we have a misconception, and I've always felt this way about Rotaract in the United States. Most of us immediately think Rotaract is Interact at college.
Mm-hmm.
But its original conception was to be the farm team. That's how it's treated overseas. The old Rotaract clubs there are generally the 18 to 30-year-olds, the young people that aren't yet able to, you know, afford the time or effort or money to be in Rotary. And the cool thing about Rotaract clubs is that they, there's a couple of things about them, but one of the things is they have some pretty low cost associated with them because they don't have these district and international dues that they're stuck with. I'm thinking that might be an interesting idea for us in a number of ways. One, these young people really understand this whole internet stuff and the idea of us running this club and doing things like community service or, you know, figuring out that end of it and stuff through the internet and stuff. I think they could generate a lot of cool ideas for us. Number two, that'd be a way for us to get a farm team. And if we got one of those going and made that a primary project for next year as our big thing project-wise we work on, enabling young people to be into Rotary through Rotaract and learn from them as much as they learn from us, that might be a cool idea. You know, an online motorcycle-based Rotaract club.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd kind of like to throw that out there, let you think about it. I'd like to know by email, and I'll send an email about this out as well, those of you who might have had experience working with Rotaract clubs or getting one started, and we'll talk about this again in 2 weeks.
Okay, so let me add a trivia question to your presentation there, Jerry.
Yeah.
Where was the first Rotaract club started?
I don't know the answer to that one. Anybody else?
University of North Carolina, Charlotte.
How about that?
1968.
So we have at least one Rotaract expert now.
Our district has recently started a number of Rotaract clubs. So, and to your point,
you got experience with community-based one?
Not in our district, no, unfortunately. But I've been, as the Rotary coordinator, I've been promoting community-based Rotaract clubs.
Yeah.
So,
We
it is,
do in our district.
yeah, it's the way to go. You know, and to your point, farm team for future Rotary is absolutely it. And in India, interestingly enough, in India, if you were not an interactor and then a Rotaractor, they won't consider you to be in Rotary.
Wow.
So I actually have a contact in India who is a perfect candidate for Rotary, but no Rotary club there would talk to him. So he is now a member of the E-Club of the Carolinas.
How about that?
So he's in Rotary, but just not in India.
Well, I think in our case, not only could it be a good way to be a farm team for members, I think it'd be great for a farm team for us to learn by how to do fundraising and do projects through the internet.
Absolutely.
I think we'd be a really benefit in 2-3 different ways. So anyway,
Chris,
something for us to all know about, and then make that kind of that'll be the happy hour discussion in 2 weeks. How's that sound?
Yeah, I won't be here in 2 weeks, but I think it's a great discussion.
Chris, that's got to be a club by club situation. The clubs I visited, they never made any mention that you have to be one of those to join your club.
All the clubs in Delhi and Calcutta, who I tried to connect him to, they would not talk to him because he was not a Rotaractor.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who's drinking what tonight? I got my usual water bottle.
White wine.
Water.
Scotch.
Rum and ginger beer.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Back up. Scotch.
Absolutely.
All right.
Root beer.
I'm also a member, a charter member of the Fellowship of Whiskey Drinkers.
Is Terry on
Doing
tonight?
a whiskey tasting in your
I
house.
wouldn't mind joining that group.
It's a great group. So, and I always tell everybody I don't do whiskey and ride the motorcycle at the same time.
That's what saddlebags are for.
Yeah.
Was that, did that start up at the Atlanta convention, Chris?
No, it started the year before that in South Carolina.
Okay, because I joined in Atlanta.
Yep. Those of us that were charter members, we got special Rotary Scotch drinking glasses, the whole bit. So
Terry is the lead of that organization. He's one of our members here too.
Terry Moore. Yep.
Yep. And Terry's volunteered to do our next what do you want to call it? Facilitated discussion that we host for the fellowship on ride planning. So I'm thinking about having that the third week of May. The other person that's volunteered recently is Steve Seltzer. Has run he spent time down in Texas on this new Goldwing motorcycle and details inside and out about it. So he's offered to do a presentation regarding that. And so I thought about that being in either the first week of May or the first week of June. So I'll let you know when I can get that worked in there. And then coming up, Linda, I don't know, maybe you can explain what's coming up the first week of April. Third week of April, Brian, our current secretary, he has made an arrangement with this biker from Arizona whose full name is Nitro, to talk to us about a biking organization that supports kids. So that's pretty cool.
Cool. And you want to know about next week?
Yeah, might as well say something.
So it's a representative from the Christina Noble Foundation, if you've heard about that. She does work in Malaysia, getting kids off the street, getting them health care, dental care, stuff like that. If you check out, I can't remember if I saw it on Amazon or Hulu or wherever, the movie Noble, it talks about her and what her organization does and her journey to get to where she is today. Pretty interesting organization. So it's a representative from that foundation.
And if anybody's interested, I've just committed to lead a eye clinic mission in Guatemala the week starting the 3rd of November. And so I'm in the process of recruiting eye doctors now. I have one committed. Actually, Rory, you guys would remember Nelson Edwards. And then we're in the process of recruiting other eye doctors now. And as soon as we have that locked in, we will be recruiting people to come help. And Amanda, you speak Spanish for me, right? She's still on?
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn to stop muting myself. Yes, sure. I will definitely speak Spanish for you.
All right. 3rd of November, put it on your
My
list.
Spanish is "Good morning, how are you?" to the lady who cleans my lobby every morning right now. But
And how's your carnival?
my what?
I know like 5 words of carnival. That's the local Mayan dialect.
I was just gonna say you got me. I'm a horrible linguist right now because I didn't even know what that was.
It's spelled with a Q, an apostrophe, and something else. So, anyway.
There is one universal word in the world, and that's beer.
Is what?
Beer.
That's universal?
That's universal. You can go anywhere in the world and order a beer, and you'll get something that resembles a beer.
Cerveza. That's the important one to learn anywhere. So what's new there, RJ? Gotten quiet here. What's going on? Tom's on. What's Tom doing?
Well, I thought I'm sitting here and I thought I'd mention a handy tool that I've commenced to carrying around in my car as well as on the motorcycle. And that's that crazy air hawk you see on TV. And it's a battery powered tire inflator. And the thing works beautifully. I've inflated RV tires, car tires, the motorcycle tires. And it's fairly small. It's not in a case much larger than a large binocular case. And boy, has it come in handy on a number of my long distance trips.
I've got something like that too. Anybody got coming up? Anybody got a decent recommendation for a tire patching or a repair kit for the motorcycle? I had a really neat one that they gave me when I rented the motorcycle in Australia. I mean, they let me use it while I had the motorcycle down there.
I do have a plug-in kit.
Oh, you do? Do we need anything more than that when we go, or should I have something too?
Well, I got to get an inflator yet, but I have a plug-in kit.
Well, I've got the inflator that I used up on the trip. Actually, I inflated David's tire with it on one trip.
Don't remember the name of the kit, but I bought one years ago and I still have it.
Okay.
That was the bad part. We were in Canada and it was sitting at home in the trailer.
Oh, I was going to say, wasn't thinking about fixing Honda parts in our tires.
Harley parts.
Or Harley parts, that's right. This was a year ago.
I'll be right back.
Year ago, Rory and I and Judy and Debbie, we went up to Jack and Donna West's place, and we stayed with them for a couple days. Then we went on and rode with Bruce and company up there near Owen Sound. And anyway, following Jack while he was leading us on the western side of Ontario around on a ride, Rory picked up a rather large nail in his tire, and we had some issues, but we ended up getting it patched and fixed by a local guy there. But I was always looking for a piece. I wish I'd have kept that piece because I'd have had that thing engraved. Because we kept teasing Jack and swore that was some part out of his Harley that fell out and got in Rory's tire. And I looked all over for a Harley part that looked a lot like a nail that I could, with a label on it I could send to Jack.
Okay, here it is.
The tire plugger.
Stop and go tubeless tire repair kit.
Huh. Is that one of those that's kind of a rivet thing?
Well, get out all the toys here. I might as well do something. Okay, comes with the gun, plugging tool for putting piece through, finger tip for the gun, and a little bag of plugs to come with it.
Oh, cool.
So everything's there. They're already pre-lubricated. All you got to do is push it through, pull the trigger, and it sets it.
Cool.
Just a comment on the plugger. I used that with some friends once on his bike, and you have to be sure that you really pull the plug back to get the mushroom part up against the thing. I pulled and apparently didn't pull far enough, so we had it improved the leak or decreased the leak, but it really didn't hold it very well. And then when we changed the tire out, we realized that I hadn't pulled it back far enough. So just a little technical point.
Does that have some sort of sealer on the back end of that plug or something?
Yeah, it's built on it. There's the website for it, so it holds still enough.
Yeah, those plug kits are really great if you have a hole that's about the size of the plug. But if you're unfortunate, like me, to have a hole that's larger, they do absolutely no good. You have to revert back to the old licorice stick thing. You put a little bit of sealant on there, push it in the hole, pull it back out, and if it's not big enough, you have another one in there. It really helps. It saves me a lot of heartache. Very functional. But you can get them from anywhere, including Walmart.
The hole we were trying to repair was made by a sharp rock. So that was part of the problem also, but it also was I was inexperienced with it, so we really didn't have it set right either. So a combination of both of those was, got us to the shop. That was all that really counted.
All you need.
Posted text there, guys, on the chat side, a couple of links for those things.
Well, like I said, I had taken it out. I took it with us when we went to Alaska the first time 10 years ago. So that's how old it is. Then it was in the trailer while we were in Canada.
I think that's kind of a lot like what they gave me as a kit for the bike I rented down there in Australia.
Hey guys,
Hey, Blair.
I'm so late. I was at a street party, neighborhood party, and end of season.
So what are you drinking, Blair?
I have a glass of red wine. How about yourself? What do you guys got?
I'm on water.
Water.
All right.
Water.
That's boring.
Scotch.
Beer.
My kind
Root
of guy.
beer.
Well done, Chris.
God, I haven't had a root beer in forever.
Empty glass of wine.
We ought to have one of these meetings, John. I was just thinking, you own the winery. You ought to send a bottle to everybody and advertise somehow that we all drink wine that night.
Yeah, everybody just wait for that.
I think that's a good plan. I'll wait, but how long, John?
I wouldn't wait up late for that.
That one that I bought there with the horse on the side of it, that was pretty good wine. What was that one?
Wait, say that again?
It had a horse head on the side of it of some sort, didn't it?
Sounds like
That
Was that before or after you drank the bottle of wine?
I don't know. I somehow came out of there with 5 or 6 bottles. I don't remember for sure.
And I'm proud of you for it.
And somehow they didn't last that long.
What's the name of the winery?
Adams County Winery.
And where might we find that, John?
One might find that 8 miles west of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean in a wine store. Where am I?
Oh, where are you? Sarasota? Not there.
No.
I think we can ship to Florida.
Oh yeah.
But all the laws are so screwed up. Mostly up here because we're just a small farm winery.
Can you ship to Canada?
No. Now you're talking international.
Yeah.
Can I smuggle it across the border?
My understanding is you can take 2 bottles of or 2 quarts of alcohol across any border, with the possible exception of Saudi Arabia, and it's personal use.
Yeah, you just can't take firewood.
No, that's right. You can't take firewood from one county to another in Ontario.
Or fireworks.
And I understand that because you could be transporting bugs.
That's correct. That's the fear.
Hey, while you were talking about the wines, my husband over here was plotting and scheming that maybe we could do a thing where we all buy the same bottle of wine or buy a bottle of wine from the same region and do one of these happy hours as a wine education.
Well, that's
Good
kind
idea.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, John, post your winery on there. Give us a selection of wines to choose from.
Well, I was going to say the Niagara Peninsula in Canada is one of the best wine regions in the world.
Yes.
I don't know how far away that is, but you go to adamscountywinery.com. Actually,
I still have a couple bottles of my Canadian wine.
You know, that's a great idea, Amanda. If you know, what might be cool is if you had him select a few things that we ought to be able to get in our different locations, or help us figure that out, and then also tell us what grapes and what cheeses and what pieces of cracker or whatever we might want to have on hand, and try and do a wine tasting event. What do you think?
That'd be kind of fun, actually. I think it wouldn't be real hard. I could set up some kind of a survey online where we say, okay, these are the, 5 wines that we're going to do. Pick one of them. And then have
That's a great idea.
go out. And then it's funny that you bring up the cheese. So Mike just started a new job. He's actually training for right now as the wine and cheese manager for a Balducci's Market, which is a gourmet food market here. So,
Oh, fantastic.
yeah, definitely hook you up with the cheese pairings as well.
I wonder,
you in?
y'all put your thinking caps on. I wonder if there's a way we could turn this into some sort of a fundraiser yet too.
Amanda, where are you?
Northern Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C.
Gotcha.
Which town?
We're in Ashburn.
Ashburn.
And that's only an hour and a half from me.
Yes, sir. You're like right down 15 from you.
Are you kidding? How far down? Like, are you beyond Leesburg?
We're just past Leesburg. Leesburg and Ashburn touch.
Okay.
I'll be going
John,
through
you
town
can put
tomorrow.
a case on the back of your motorcycle and take it down to her and have Mike check it all out for us.
I'm on it.
Not a bad plan, actually. Chris, did you say you're driving down through here tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be driving through there tomorrow on my way to Baltimore.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too.
You actually go right past my office, I'm assuming. I'm right on 495 in Tyson's Corner.
Actually, I'm going to go up 81 and across 7 to 340 and then down 70. But
Much better plan.
yeah, I avoid DC and 95 as much as possible.
Amen.
Smart choice, but, there's some good ethnic restaurants in Baltimore.
Yes, there are. And one of my favorite non-ethnic restaurants is G&M's right by the airport for blue crab cakes. So
They still have Phillips downtown on the Inner Harbor?
no, they don't. Steve Phillips is actually making a lot more money bringing crabs in from Indonesia and then putting them into packaging and selling them through grocery stores. So they still have their place down in Ocean City, but not in Baltimore.
Man, that place, Debbie and I used to frequent when we were first married. We lived in Haverty, Grace,
Yep.
Maryland, there for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And we used to love to go down there to the Inner Harbor and get a tray of dozen crabs, and the tables were all made of the old telephone wire rolls and stuff.
Yep.
And big brown paper, a roll of paper towels, and a hammer and a knife. And you ate like
a mallet, not a hammer,
Yeah.
a mallet.
Gary, I didn't know you lived in Haverty, Grace. The first job that I didn't get when I got out of the Army, we moved the whole family from Colorado to the wrong side of the bay in Maryland. And we were living in Chesapeake City, just south of Elkton, Maryland.
Oh.
That's an interesting place to live.
I was on active duty at Aberdeen Proving Grounds at the time.
Okay. That makes sense.
Not the place to be anymore.
Well, Chesapeake City is funny. There's no happy medium. We lived on a thoroughbred racehorse farm. I'm sorry, on a standardbred racehorse farm that was owned by the guy who founded Hertford Life across the street from the DuPonts.
Yep.
And on the other side of the street was a trailer park.
Yep.
So there was like Amish, super low income, and the DuPonts, and there was nothing in between. It was the weirdest place I've ever lived.
No zoning. I lived in Baltimore and surrounding areas for 46 years. So
Hey, Chris, what time tomorrow are you going to be on the road?
I hope to leave here about 9 a.m.
Until?
And, well, it'll take us probably until about 5 o'clock to get up there.
About 5?
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be on the road about 2, maybe 3 at the latest tomorrow, so I'll let you know.
Yep, just give me a call.
Yeah.
If I don't answer, it's because I'm on another line, but I'll call you back as soon as I can.
Okie dokie.
So do you think I can talk Mike into letting us do a Barbadian rum tasting? We'd have to definitely go down to Barbados to grab it for everybody.
That sounds good. We're going to Bermuda in October to golf. So.
Nice.
I'll be the Sherpa and haul it all back for you.
That's okay. Yeah, it sounds good. Wait, who's got a boat?
I do.
Awesome. Done. Perfect. We came back from Barbados with a port wine cask aged rum and a Zinfandel cask aged rum, which were just ridiculous.
Nice.
Either
Hey,
neat
Chris,
over the rock.
Chris, will your boat make it to Cuba? That's where the good rum is.
No, my boat is a lake boat, so it doesn't leave Lake Norman. So, but I'll be in the Keys, in my home in the Keys, from the 17th through the 21st.
And actually, I think we can get Cuban rum in Canada because.
Just because.
I think you're right. I believe you can. Yep.
Chris, where's your place in the Keys?
So the more important question is, can I zip across the border there in Detroit and pick up my rum and then zip back across the border, or are they going to stop me?
No, you don't get caught. Sure, you can do it.
Is that the police officer that just said that?
Just talk nicely.
It is what it is.
Just talk nicely
Is
to
there
the border.
import restrictions?
Yeah.
I'll leave you get caught.
If you don't stay 24 hours, you got a problem.
The bigger question is, can I buy it in the duty free?
Probably.
So, Amanda, what was your question?
Where is your place in the Keys?
Isla Morada.
Okay, so the Isla Morada Dive Club is actually owned by a guy that my husband played rugby with up in Michigan. His name's
Cool.
Eric Phillips.
Very good.
He's the one who's always on Andrew Zimmern going out and killing all the lionfish.
Good for you. Good.
Yep.
You guys talk about rum. Newfoundland has something called Screech. It's
serious rum.
It's very serious. It's very good. It's Jamaican rum that's processed with iceberg water. So you've got 10 to 25,000 year old water processing with this Jamaican rum, and you can only get it in Newfoundland, and it's very smooth.
About a 45%.
Right after a long day's ride.
It's about $45. Is that what you said?
No, 45% alcohol.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Way up there.
That's almost 90 proof.
Oh, yeah.
I got screeched in Newfoundland last summer on a trip that I went out there. And we got up at 4:30 in the morning and drove out to Cape Spear, to the most easterly point of North America, in our pajamas. And we drank screech as the sun came up.
Oh, you rock. Awesome. I didn't do
Every time we do one of these happy hours, I get more and more impressed with our group.
We're an awesome group.
Awesome experiences.
What's going to happen when we invite all these kids? We're not going to be able to have these conversations anymore.
Yeah, we can't have the alcohol conversations, right?
They got to learn too.
Although I had
He
a
might teach us something.
proud / embarrassed mom moment the other day when my 13-year-old daughter was talking about a friend at school whose last name was Martinez, and they were joking with him about starting his own country on an island and calling it Martini Land. And her friend said something to the effect of, we could make a bunch of virgin martinis. And apparently she said, what, just an olive in a glass?
Yeah.
And I came to the realization that my 13-year-old knows how to make a martini.
Scary, isn't it?
Learned well from mom.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Kids say the darndest things.
Yeah.
It does make you scratch your head. I've got a 16-year-old who's he's my academic, and my 13-year-old is my world smart one.
Right.
I do wish they were swapped a little bit, where the boy child was the world smart one and not the academic, and the girl child was. But unfortunately,
So the girl child's a mini me, huh?
I don't know what you were talking about.
Oh, I remember somebody when she was 17 years old.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I still think an olive in a glass just means she's got a quick wit and a smart mind.
I also think it means that she understands what a real martini is.
That's right.
Well, this meeting went downhill in a hurry, didn't it?
And motorcycles.
Oh yeah, no drinking on motorcycles. That was the overall theme for today.
Not a good deal.
That's what saddlebags are for.
That's where the gun goes.
Uh-oh.
Man, I am learning some stuff from you guys. Wow.
My rifle won't fit in the saddlebags, Joe. Chris.
Oh, you can carry it.
You can't break that rifle down, Amanda?
Actually, that's not true. It's got a collapsible buttstock. We're good.
There you go.
Oh, goodness.
You
Did you
didn't
say
say
butt
bump
stock or bump stock?
I was going to say, you didn't say bump stock, did you?
Not bump stock. I don't need a bump stock. I can fire fast enough. Thank you.
The finger moves quickly.
Amanda, were you in the military or were you in the Air Force?
Oh no! Did you? No, you didn't.
I was
Tom,
Army,
you didn't
and
say
I was
that.
in a tactical tank unit. Thank you.
Oh,
What did you do?
I was an Arabic linguist.
Who? What was your MOS?
98 Golf. I think it's a 35 November now.
Arabic?
What does that mean in English?
That's a cryptologic linguist.
Ooh, spook. I like it.
Sounds real good, right? Yeah, I know. We were signals intel. We were SIGINT, but there was no SIG to INT when we were in Iraq. So I built schools and immunized kids and cleaned up the water during the day and ran detainee operations at night.
Excellent.
I got to do all the cool stuff. Get rid of all the bad guys. That was bad. I should stop drinking. I did not get rid of any good guys. I got rid of all the bad guys to make sure the good guys were taken care of.
I was in the artillery, and I was you were at Carson, evidently.
I was.
I'll have to tell you some more stories about when I was there, and General Menetry was the division commander. You're not old enough to know that.
All right. Do you have anything to do with the sanctions on Army people downtown at certain bars?
No, that was always there. It had. You can't explain it in less than an hour.
Gotcha, John.
It was a smart idea by one of the smart guys, smart civilians in the Pentagon. So this is at least 2 beers.
This is good conversation for a program on how I got to where I am.
Yeah, I was just going to say this. How I got to where I am is a much longer than an hour conversation, I think. Charts. There's probably going to have to be a PowerPoint presentation.
You know,
We're
pictures
looking
are
forward to that
incriminating.
one. We are definitely looking forward to that one. Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. Just let me know.
All right, I'll get it scheduled.
Well, we should have some sort of classification talks for this group.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, how I got to where I am.
Yep.
I like that.
I call mine jerry-rigged.
Nice.
Well, folks, I'm going to cut out. You're welcome to keep going, but I've got to get myself checked into this Residence Inn before I lose the room.
Yeah, I've got to get going myself.
Yeah. Hotels.com app, Jerry.
You mean you don't have a tent with you?
Beg your pardon?
You don't have a tent with you?
Doesn't that seat recline?
Yeah, the seat reclines.
He's in his motorcycle, but he didn't have that with him.
Where are you, Jerry?
Fairfield, Illinois, just north side of Chicago.
All right, well, I gotta take a call, so I'll see y'all later.
All right, take care.
See y'all next week.
Buddy.
Bye, all.
Hey, Mickey.
See you guys.
Bye.
Okay. Bye
Have a good week.
Somehow, how do I stop this?
Press the button.
How's the weather in Florida, Blair?
It is gorgeous. It was a nice sunny day today. Lovely.
Yeah, good.
As usual, and warm.
And I can't understand. You don't